Okay, let's look at the integer data type. So it turns out that integer is native to Python. So we don't have to declare a variable to be of type integer. It is automatically known by the compiler. Integer is one of three numeric data types that are in Python. So we have integer, we have float, and we have a third one called complex. For this book, we'll focus on integer and float. So in the first example I'll use is an integer called age, and here you can see that I can assign 23 to the variable age. When I print back age, I can see it's 23. If I want to find the type of age, then I can use my type function. Use my type function, I can see there that the integer, that age variable is of type integer. I can also explicitly define a variable to be of type integer. So let us say, for example, I have a variable called x. I can use my int function there. So if I say int 45, what I'm saying is assign the value 45, which is an integer, to the variable x. Now let us say I have y, and to y I'm assigning, say, int, and I'm saying 56.3. Now let us see the value that is stored at y. If you notice there, the value that is stored at y is 56. So Python will truncate a floating point number. In other words, it will get rid of the decimal point and just store the whole number part for the integer. So what operations are there that are defined on integer? So I'm just going to show this table here. And here's a list of the different operations that are defined on integer. So we have addition, subtraction, multiplication, division there. We have integer division. Notice we're making a difference here. The double forward slash is the integer division. So this will return the integer part of the division. We have modulo, very powerful operation. Modulo will return the remainder of dividing the first value by the second value. We also have negate. We have that will change the sign of the value. So it will change a positive number to a negative number and a negative number to a positive number. We have absolute value. We have a casting operation there. And power, we can use two notations for power. So let us do some examples there. So addition is very straightforward, very simple. So I've defined x and I've defined y earlier. I can say x plus y, and it turns out that I'll get 101 because x is 45 and y is 56. Subtraction would be the same, so y minus x in this case. Just turn it around to get a positive number. We can also say negate x, so we get a negative value for x there. Let us use some better numbers, some smaller numbers, so we can do some division that we can check for ourselves. So let us say that x, we're assigning x to be 20, and let us say we assign y to be 5. Now, if we say x divided by y, we're getting 4.0. Okay, 4.0, and here we can see that the division will return in a floating point number. Now let's just try, say, 23, and we want to do integer division 5, and here we notice that we're getting the value of 4 because 23 divided by 5, and we're saying return the integer part here. You can see that if we just do 23 divided by 5 without the integer division, we're getting a floating point number as our answer. So we need to make this distinction here. Now the modular operation, as I showed you earlier, it will return the remainder. So using our same example there, if we have, say, 23 modular 5, so what we're saying is take 23, divide it by 5, and then return the remainder. In this case, the remainder is 2. Sorry, the remainder is 3. This is a very powerful operation that is used to find out if a number is odd or even. The fact that all odd number has a remainder of 1 when we divide it by 2. So if we want to test a number is odd or even, if we say the number 45 in this case modulo 2, if the remainder is 1, then we know that that number is an odd number. So absolute value there will return the positive. So if we say what's the absolute value of minus 34, it turns out that it's positive 34. Clearly the absolute value of positive 34 is just 34. Okay, we looked at the casting earlier. So it turns out that the int function will cast a value, and where possible it will translate, it will turn that value that is sent to it to an integer value. So if I say int of a number, say 78.3, then it will turn that value into an integer value. Then the last one for us to look at is the power operation. So the power operation, so if I have 3 squared, I can say 3 star star 2, and then that will return 3 squared. Another way we could have used the power function here. So it's power of 3 squared, and that's 9. So integers are very fundamental data type in Python, and we have a lot of operations defined on integer. So look at the operations that we have examined in this video, and then you can play around with them. Next we're going to explain floating point number.